Are you finding that your dreams are just not coming true? You try everything you can think of, but it seems like that goal just gets further and further away? Yeah, I found a way through, and I want to share with you how to actually get to your goals. So welcome to Therapist Thursdays. I'm Dr. Syra, and today I want to talk to you just for a few minutes about getting to your goals. I've been around lots of people and lots of clients over the years who say that they want particular things to happen, but it just seems like they never get there. They try all these different things, and it seems like that goal just keeps moving further and further and further away. And what I've learned is one of the reasons that happens for people is because they don't have a singular focus. And so I want to talk to you today about how to bring your energy and your attention to your goals so that you're not dreaming about a life that you want, but you're actually moving towards living that life. So I want to give you an example from my own life. So when I was little, I always had this dream, or I don't know if it was a dream, but I used to draw this picture of myself, kind of like this big, but the bigger scene was the mountains and the lake or the river, the foothills, trees, and a little house in the middle of all this wilderness. And that was kind of my happy place as a kid. I would always draw this picture like over and over and over and over again. And so over the last few weeks, my husband and I, we've been talking about a change, and I'll tell you more about that change as it happens. But that picture never left me, right? And I didn't really know necessarily what it was. It was just kind of a place to land that felt safe, a place to land that felt nurturing. And so when we moved into this house, it was really neat because, first of all, the house was red, which is the little house in my pictures, and there were big trees outside the window, right? And so when I came into this house, I thought, wow, this gives me that feeling. And so for me, much of my life has been towards moving towards that feeling of peace, of connection, and for a long time was connection to people. That's changing more into connection with nature and the non-human beings on the planet. But it's always been there, right? It's always been a goal. Now, what many people do is that they draw too many pictures, right? So in one picture, it's this image of the mountains and the lakes, and another image, there's like the city with the tall buildings and the excitement, and in another picture, it's not even a building at all. You're like living on a houseboat. And it's not to say this isn't about where you live, right? This is about the vision that you have for how you want to feel in your life. And if we're drawing too many pictures, we become scattered, right? We become scattered. And so what I want to remind you today is that whatever your goals are, stick to them. Stick to them. It's so interesting as we're ready to move to our next home, and we're making all these plans, and it's so interesting because we can tell who the people are who really get it, who are really supporting us, and like, go ahead, right? And like, here you go, and can I help you with boxes? And then there's the people who are giving us other ideas, like, well, have you thought of moving overseas? And have you thought of this? And have you thought of that? And we're like, yeah, we have. And we keep coming back to this focused direction, right? If you're trying to look for a job, similar rules apply, or a job, or build your career. As I was building my career, I had so many different things that I wanted to do that I wasn't really doing anything consistently. And especially since COVID-19, I've been so consistent in videos, in having clients, in doing groups, and just consistency. And it hasn't been glamorous, let me tell you. Not very glamorous right now, right? It's not like getting on stage and talking to people and things I like. It's been the tedious everyday thing, and having that consistency that's been able to bring me where I am today, where I have like good things happening at Dragonfly Wellness Center, right? So that's it. That's how you can apply that to work. If you're looking for love, I'm working with so many clients who are looking for love, and they'll say, oh, I want somebody who's like this, but I also want that, and I don't want to give up this, and what about where I live, and it's like, okay, well, what do you want? If what you want is to get into a relationship, if that's the goal, then all the other activities need to be coming in, like it's like a funnel, right? I think of it as a funnel. So you pour in the sand and everything comes to one point and comes out there. And then it's concentrated, your energy is concentrated. And so what that means is you have to let go of the brainstorming stage. So I did a video early days of COVID, around the 3 stages of change or something like that, where I talked about brainstorming as the first thing that you have to do. You have to put all the ideas on the table. But then you have to pick one and really focus and concentrate on it and know that the timing will happen in its own way. If I'm saying I'm being consistent for 1 month in my career goals, well, maybe it's going to take me being consistent for a year in my career goals to get to that promotion or to build that network or to have that opportunity, right? Maybe 1 month isn't enough. In another case, maybe 3 weeks are all I need as I concentrate in a particular area to get to my goals. So trusting that it's not up to you when or how fast it happens, but what I've seen over and over and over again is the more focused that you can be, not letting yourself get distracted on this particular next step, you'll move forward. And many people come to me and they have like all of these areas, right? Like I want to be in a better relationship with my mom, and I want to feel better about my body, and I want the career of my dreams, and I want to be in a relationship. And so what we do in therapy is we pick one thing and we start there. Right? And when we feel like we're kind of coming to some resolution, then we pick another thing. And often what we find is there's a web, they're all connected. And so though we're talking about, your relationship with your mom, that's actually linked to maybe your self-esteem, which impacts your work, right? So they are linked, but we pick an area and we focus on it. So that's my thoughts for today around how to get what you really want, how to actually move towards your goals. Minimize the distractions and really get clear about what you want, and then be willing to put in the tedious consistency that it takes to move in that direction. Another thing is tell people. See, I used to not really want to tell people things until the ball was kind of rolling. And part of the reason for that is because they would throw in all their ideas and I would get derailed, right? So say, for example, I say, oh, I'm going to move my kids into this particular school. And I haven't really done the research yet, or I haven't really looked into it. I haven't talked to the principal, and I tell people, I tell my family, my friends, I'll get all these opinions and all these other options. And so I never really move forward. I just get lost in the sheer volume of opportunities and ideas. So what I've learned to do is kind of get the momentum going, kind of get that boulder moving, do the heavy lifting of getting that boulder moving. And then once it's on a trajectory, then I can fill in, my family and friends and let them know what I'm up to. I do value the opinions of the people around me. And there are 1 or 2 particular people who have, they're right beside me as I make those decisions, but I don't kind of tell the world until it's happening. And that's simply to keep myself focused on the next thing. So yes, you can enlist the love and support of friends and family, but be selective in who you're going to tell and who are the people who are actually going to help you move in a straight line rather than throw in all these other, ideas and opportunities from every angle. Finally, one thing I've learned over the years is that you can't really make a mistake. Yeah, you can't, because any mistake actually turns into a growth opportunity. I had this big, intense, painful falling out with a business partner years ago, and it shattered me. I was out for a while emotionally, and it was hard for me to take a risk again. It was hard for me to get ramped up and get going again. But what I learned about myself through that experience was profound. Right? I learned about what motivates me and what are the false motivators in my life. I learned about relying on other people to carry me and be the leader, and how it's time for me to step up and be a leader in my own life. So I learned about kind of my values, what it was that I really wanted to achieve and what I really stood for. I guess you could say I learned about my brand through that exercise. And at the time, I was ashamed, and it was humiliating, and it was painful, and I don't think it was a mistake, because had I not gone through that experience, I wouldn't be the person I am. I wouldn't have had to do the soul searching that I had to do to get here, right? So no matter what decisions you're making, no matter what goals you have, in the end, they're going to teach you something, even if it's a big fat mistake. So those are my ideas on how to actually get what you want and not just talk about getting what you want. I'm here every Thursday. Hope to see you next week. See you soon. Bye.